peaceful in the sense of nothing else matters when you're on the river.
Yep, and after I did those rapids, I feel like a grown-up lady.
141 miles from Junk Ditch to Toledo, Ohio. Junk Ditch in Fort Wayne. What are you feeling right now?
It was very rewarding and eye-opening. Just all the good and the bad things that you see along the way.
It's a show of force and a demonstration of love for the rivers.
There's some metal patches that I've already identified. Thank you to some of our other scouters. And Turtle is going to hand you a whistle. Turtle's going to hand you a whistle and teach you how to whistle, if you didn't already know how.
We're going to start at the Continental Divide between the Mississippi River system and the Great Lakes system. So that is right there at Eagle Marsh. So think of it, it's like Smith and Angle Road. So really when you were standing in that area, you can, on this hand, if it rains, it will go to the Wabash, to the Ohio, to the Mississippi, and to the Gulf of Mexico. If it rains on this hand, it will go to Junk Ditch, to the St. Mary's, to the Maumee, to Defiance, Ohio, and outlet in Toledo. So that is a very special area.
All right, hold on here. So let's see. Try your best now.
Come here! Come this way! One.
It's not very friendly, it's just the money boat.
Staying away from that. It's organized chaos at its finest. All right. Organized chaos. Lady. You got it. But it works.
So how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. How far behind are the rest of the crew?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't want to be using my CPR skills out here as much as I'd like to, no.
There are many stories on this trip, and I'll tell you some of them, mainly the story of my friend, Bill White. Maumee means Miami, an Indian tribe from here in Indiana, land of Indians, where the trip took place from Fort Wayne, Indiana to Toledo, Ohio, over 9 days and 141 miles. Big battles took place that changed the name of our city from Kikiyanga to Fort Wayne after the General Anthony Wayne who defeated the Indians at the Battle of Fallen Timber. The importance of keeping our rivers clean is the main message from this trip, and the battle with the entrenched interests that started with Wayne's invasion and has continued non-stop ever since. The Flint story started in April 2014 when this trip took place, but Bill's story begins over 5 decades ago when he was just 13 years old at a Catholic military boarding school overlooking the Maumee River. 2 weeks before graduation, he stole a car and hit the road. He didn't want to be a Nazi soldier marching in Wayne's army, and he found his inspiration in reading Anne Frank. Until this trip, he had never been back. Bill and the other river travelers are some of the best people on the planet. They can save us from a fate like Flint.
It's been really inspiring to see all these people getting together and doing lots of great things, and not even excited to get back to the civilization aspect. I mean, I could be out here for a couple more days, a couple more weeks, and be totally fine, because it's been so refreshing, it's been so exciting, it's been very peaceful, and not peaceful in the sense of meditation necessarily, but peaceful in the sense of nothing else matters when you're on the river. It's all very physical based, and so the cares of the world don't really come back. The most stressed out I've been is in my dreams this week, because I've had a couple really intense dreams, but when you're out on the river, it's methodical. You're paddling every paddle, 60 paddles a second, let's go. It's really, you sort of work the stress out.
You've done the entire trip.
Yep, one more day. Tomorrow we will be in Toledo at International Park, about ready to finish this trip.
Today?
Today!
Yes.
Today.
Today.
We will paddle 9 more miles and end up in International Park in downtown Toledo, having paddled from the very start, the Continental Divide, Junk Ditch, all the way down the Maumee to Lake Eerie. It's pretty cool.
It is cool.
And it wouldn't have been possible without all of the planning that went into this, all of the people both in the water and behind the scenes making a mammoth, gigantic effort to make this happen. I honestly think if one of the people who is here hadn't been here, this would have been a totally different experience. Everyone who's here has contributed in a different way, something beautiful, magical, amazing. And just because someone doesn't get the glory of being on the water the whole time doesn't mean that their role is not incredibly important, because there's no way we could have done 18 miles and come back and set up camp and cook dinner. No way. So it's been inspiring to see everybody working together and giving what they can and helping out where they're able. So.
Hey, what's going on, Grace? Somebody's cold this morning. You want to say hi?
Hi, Grace. Good. Oh,
this was her first camping trip.
Good morning.
My kids are activists from very young ages.
Yeah, like birth.
Birth.
In the womb.
Her first meeting outside of my mother's house or the NICU, and she was like a little over 5 pounds, was a Fort Wayne for Peace meeting for the raft race.
Oh,
raft.
Grace.
Can you say hi? Are you going to be an activist medic?
Aw. And Grace, you have the honor. You are the youngest Save the Maumee.
She is.
And the cutest.
She loves the water.
Aww.
I wish my son could be here because he likes stuff like this, but he had school this week.
Shouldn't let school interfere with an education.
I actually plan on homeschooling her for that reason, but my son I have offered numerous times to pull him out and have him be homeschooled so I have more control.
What's your role on the trip, Amanda?
I'm the land medic, so I support any medical issues that are on land, and since I'm a paramedic and I worked in an ER for a lot of years, I also have primary care training. I'm a certified aromatherapist. So supporting the medical aspect from land and supporting Turtle, who's my friend that came in to do it on the canoe, since this one can't go on a canoe.
What is that called when you put something on the front of a ship?
The symbol of life.
The symbol of life, apparently, is what it's called.
We thought it would be. Oh yeah, it'll be easy. Just mark this point, write something down really quick, take a picture.
Right.
Label everything.
Right, label everything.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? You've done the whole trip, right?
I'm feeling great, boss. I'm ready for the last leg of the journey. I'm ready for the last leg of the journey.
And where is that going to end up? Where are we now?
We're getting there. It's going to be the last leg of the Save Maumee Canoe Trip 2014. Woo!
It's kind of crazy to see one of Mom's, like when Mom said, like, oh, let's paddle 141 miles down the river, everyone was like, okay. And now we're actually doing it, and it hasn't been that bad. It's been really fun.
Yeah.
We anticipated, or no one else would have came, I don't think. Yeah, it's really nice to see everything come full circle, like everything worked out, even if it wasn't how we anticipated. That's all we can really hope for, is while we raise awareness.
Not sure what I'm going to do, but that's part of the job.
Well,
it's kind of like hanging out and just documenting what they're doing until they take off.
Well, we don't always know what we're doing, so don't worry.
No problem.
All right, thank you, Lori.
Windy, oh, 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 hey, oh, hey, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Windy, oh, windy, oh, windy, windy, oh, 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 hey, oh, hey, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bill hadn't been back to school since he attended the 8th grade in 1963. Nazareth Hall Military Academy was an elite Catholic school sitting on a hill overlooking the Maumee River outside the little town of Grand Rapids, Ohio, for boys grades 3 through 8 who came from all over the world. His family wasn't rich. They had to mortgage their house to pay for his stay with the help of the parish. They never questioned the school or the religion. If Bill couldn't fit in, it was because of a defect in him. They didn't send him there to punish him. They sent him there to straighten him out. They did it out of love. They sent him there to become a soldier. he left an anti-war activist. They had to wear uniforms and carry guns, march in cadence from the chapel to the cafeteria. Although now a banquet hall, some of it is the same. His locker is still there, the blackboard he used to write on, the uniforms, the office where a nun deposited him while she went to fetch the priest to discuss his punishment. All alone in the room, Bill saw the keys to the company car hanging on a hook, grabbed them, pushed the window open, and jumped out to freedom. What helped to keep him going was staring at the river and reading Anne Frank, who was 13, Bill's age, when she went into hiding with her family and a few friends in an annex in her father's business, now a worldwide attraction known as the Anne Frank House. She was hunted by Nazis with no hope of escape. Bill didn't want any part of that. He wanted to be like her courage, her ability to make a difference. To Bill, a Catholic or Lutheran or any kind of religious military school is a contradiction in terms. He asked, a religion should be about peace, not war. Why didn't that school prepare us for peace instead of war? Which raged all around Anne Frank, who anxiously listened to the news, huddled around the radio with her family.
For the Queen and home country, for freedom, truth, and rights. Radio Orange, the voice of the fighting Dutch. Good afternoon, Dutch people in the Netherlands, in East and West, at sea, or wherever in the world. Here is the news. Here is the most important news from our Marine Flash, which we broadcast today instead of tomorrow. In Quebec, the British-American Conference has accomplished its tasks. On the East Front, the Russians have achieved some major accomplishments, in spite of heavy resistance from the Germans. The Allies have executed heavy bombing in southern Italy, on Sardinia, on the Greek island of Rhodes, and in the Peloponnese. Germany. Berlin, which received yesterday 1,750 pounds of bombs, was covered in smoke in the late afternoon. The Gestapo leader Himmler has been appointed Minister of Interior Affairs by Hitler. Last Saturday, a large number of troops invaded Copenhagen.
I don't believe that the big men, the politicians, and the capitalists alone are guilty of the war. Oh no, the little man is just as guilty, otherwise the peoples of the world would have risen in revolt long ago. There's in people simply an urge to destroy, an urge to kill, to murder and rage until all mankind, without exception, undergoes a great change. Wars will be waged, and everything that has been built up, cultivated, and grown will be destroyed and disfigured, after which mankind will have to begin all over again.
This says, the river rocks over a canoe. It could not be better. Oh.
Everybody pitch down. You get the honor of
Yep.
holding it in your canoe for the rest of the trip.
No.
It was just perfect. Perfect.
This is so awesome.
It was made
All right.
right here in Grand Rapids, yeah. By the father-in-law, the guy that owns the canoe shop. We're the guy that owns it.
I love Mosaic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
From the bottom of my heart.
You're welcome.
I spent a long time on this trip.
Well,
And you have souvenirs.
that's a souvenir, memento, a token of our appreciation.
Thank
to
you. Now it is all of you that I thank. I said that I would go down the river whether I had help or not. And you all, I've invited you to come, and you stepped up and you did something. And all of you I hear over and over again, like, Abby, I'm sorry, I wish I could. Abby, I'm sorry, I can't. Abby, I'm sorry. It's like, it's okay. We are all volunteers, including myself, and we do it because we care. And there is a greater vision. And you're right, it's not about the water, because people are always like, oh, the environment, la la la. People need healthy things to keep them healthy. And water is life. If you do not have that, everything else falls to the wayside. There is nothing more important. So, excuse me.
And this is, yes, I'm aspiring to be a lady now.
It'll take some work, but don't give up.
My name is Vicki Haskins, and I'm with several groups, but mostly the Ohio Environmental Stewardship Alliance. And we're very concerned about concentrated animal feeding operations. Lake Eerie was cleaned up 25 years ago, and now something has changed. They've forced the municipal plants to clean up. They've forced industry to clean up. They've taken the phosphorus out of lawn fertilizers. They've taken the phosphates out of laundry detergents. So we think that the big thing that has changed are the large livestock factories. And basically in Ohio, there are very ineffective rules, and nobody is willing to do anything about it. So even though the Ohio EPA has said effective manure management is critical if we're going to clean up the lake, our legislators have done basically nothing to hold these large animal facilities accountable. So they're willing to spend millions of dollars on Band-Aids to clean it up, but they're not willing to stop the source. And I think that's what we all have to do, is we have to make them accountable for the manure instead of allowing them to just over-apply it, and it ends up in our rivers and lakes.
Any things stand out on the trip for you, in the water or otherwise?
The consistency of trash. The very consistent level of trash. Everywhere, on each side, all of the time. Even at the little docking stations. Right next to it, you can see where all the trash is piled up from where they moved it away from where they dock. Didn't get rid of it, just moved it.
Well, that's a great line, consistency of trash. And I got to film some on the river, and Roland got a garbage can, really. A perfect symbol of what you're talking about.
Just last week, 80,000 hives damaged or killed because of the way that they were applying pesticides to the almonds. Some people are, there's a lot of petitions out there. The more I Google, the more associations I find that are trying to work toward it. But it is frustrating, just like, it's very similar to what you guys do with the Maumee, which I love it because there's so many similarities. We both want to decrease pesticides. You guys want clean water, but how much else would it help to decrease the pesticides? You know, help our pollinators, help us. And that's what I really want to get through to people, is we got to quit disconnecting ourselves from our environment. What we do is what we do to ourselves, and it's, people just think we can put it in a box and, oh, the bees are dying.
And one of the things that I've noticed that has impressed me so much is the people that have a heart for the river and what they want to do to help make what we see as a beautiful, clean environment downstream, improve that upstream.
Stop littering in the river.
Where should I put our paddle? Back in that what she's doing.
Yesterday, I watched Nathan was in the kayak, okay? And I saw Nathan paddle. I said, look at him. He's not even moving. He is like working so hard, and he's standing completely still.
So, really, yesterday, I mean, that's the worst stretch. This is the most fun. It will be. Okay. All right, I'm just telling you, this is the most fun from here
So you're not
on
afraid
down
of it. That's the only
into
way
Perrysburg.
is to not be afraid.
And after that, you got, it's a little diversity because you got some stuff to look at, you know, different stuff going on. It's doable.
I've been down in it, literally. It's been very humbling. And it's been a very strong example of how we can use everyday experiences in our lives to illustrate to the general public why we need to do better protecting the water. So a strong example of how we can use education and fun experience to begin to really shift the status quo. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been very challenging. I got a really big workout yesterday out there trying to go over the rapids and it just got too choppy for me. Yeah.
I have a golden retriever too. He does the same thing.
Oh yeah.
They love it. There they go.
Yeah, my watch is definitely
3 hours, like we said, 9 miles, 3 miles an hour.
I told you it was just going to be a few hours.
I feel great.
I think a lot of people thought can't do it, won't happen, whatever
well,
reason.
People did do it.
It was very rewarding and eye-opening. Just all the good and the bad things that you see along the way.
Not your money.
Both.
You could go scrap them and not.
Probably saw a lot of both. Right?
A lot. I mean, a couple eagles, muskrats, turtles. That's always nice, but it was far outweighed by the amount of trash and by sewer overflows and artificial bank hardening and dump sites. So I'm looking forward to the time when the good far outweighs the bad.
It's right down there. We did it!
Where's that?
What did you do?
You guys are the best crew ever.
I can get, once we get back to Kenny Becky's, I can give you a ride home.
I feel like I have bruises all over both of my legs.
What's really awesome is that
Hi there, Grace.
I don't have blisters either.
I got
and
one.
I only wore gloves like today. Those black oars turn my hands completely black though.
Yeah.
What?
I used it one day and my hand was stained.
In the long run, the sharpest weapon of all is a kind and gentle spirit.